Hello students, today we shall see the next topic, peripheral interfacing. That means how you can connect different devices to specifically input-output devices to 8051 microcontroller. The peripheral interfacing is done using an intermediate device which is known as programmable peripheral interface, that's PPI. The number of this chip is 8. So we have to connect 8255 to the microcontroller and the device which is used. This is the pin diagram of 8255. As you can see, it has 40 pins. Out of them, the pins from 27 to 34. So these are the data pins. The address pins are 8 and 9, A0, A1. Then you have ports PA, PB, PC. Then as usual we have the ground pins and VCC pin. Two pins are meant for reading or writing, that is pin number 5 and 36. 35 pin is a reset pin. Okay, this is what is I have already mentioned, different pins and their meanings. This is the functional block diagram of 8255. So as you can see, it has one internal data bus for which the ports are connected, PA, PB. You can see that the PC port is divided into two parts, PCU and PCL, which represents lower nibble and higher nibble. Then there is a control system which is known as GA control and GB control. We shall see the groups A and B in the next slides. The data bus buffer is connected to D0 to D7 pins. So the data is transferred or from or to the D0 pin to D7 pin to this data buffer. Then there is a read-write control logic for which read and write A0, A1 and the reset pins are connected. The CS bar is used to enable this read-write control logic. Let's see the features of 8255. As I told, it has 3 ports, PA, PB and PC, and it works in 4 different modes, 0, 1, 2 and the BSR mode. BSR stands for bit set reset mode. Now let us see how these ports are working with the different modes. The port PA can be set for 3 modes, 0, 1 and 2. PB is meant for 0 and 1. PC can be set for the modes 0 and BSR. Now modes 1 and 2, they are interrupt driven. Let us see them in detail. As I told you earlier, the port C has two 4-bit ports, that means it is divided into two parts, PCU, that is PC upper and PC lower. They can be set independently for input or output. That means using this port we can read one nibble at a time. So each of this PC bit can be set or reset individually in BSR mode. Now these ports are divided into two groups, as I mentioned, GA and GB. GA group is port A and the upper port of C. GB is for port B and lower port of C. Now let us see how the ports are selected using the address lines A1 and A0. There are two address lines, so we can select 4 ports at a time. When they are 00, PA is selected, 01, PB is selected, and it is 10, PC is selected. And when A1 and A0 are 11, the control registers D0 to D7 are selected. That means we can see that D7 to D0 can be considered as a data line or a control register line. The address and the data bus must be externally demultiplexed. Now let us see how to use the BSR mode. This mode is applicable to PC. Now when we use BSR mode, the bits D7 to D0, the data pins are used as the control register. So D7 will be equal to 0 so that we can use BSR mode. D6 to D4 are not used. Now there are three different bits B0, B1, B2 which are taken from D1, D2, D3 respectively. The D0 bit is 1 for set and it is 0 for reset mode. We shall see the bits B0, B1, B2 in the next slide. These three control bits B0, B1, B2 will give rise to 8 different formats. So the PC bit will be equal to the decimal value of B0, B1, B2. So when all of them are 0, it is 0 till when all of them are 1, it is 7. Now the control word for set is when all of them are 0, it is 1. So when it is control word is to be set, so it is the values are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, B, D, F, that is all odd numbers. When they are reset, all of them are even numbers. Now let us see the input output mode. In that case D7 will be equal to 0, 1. When it is 0, it is BSR mode. Now D6 and D5 bits are used to set GA mode select. So when both of them are 0, it is mode 0, 0, 1, mode 1 and 1x. So D5 can be anything for mode 2. D4 bit is used for PA, 1 for input, 0 for output. D3 is for upper PC, 1 for input, 0 for output. D2 is for GP, 0 for mode 0, 1 for mode 1. Then D1 is for PB, 1 for input, 0 for output. D0 is for PC lower, 1 for input, 0 for output. Now let us see the modes in detail. Mode number 0, it is used for only input and output. No interrupts are allowed in this mode. Two 8-bit ports are used, that is PAPP. Two 4-bit ports are used, that is PCU, PCL. Outputs are latched and inputs are buffered. In mode 1, input and output both are latched. Input, when it is input mode, D4 and D2 bits are set or reset. INTE using BSR, that means when it can be used as interrupt. STB input is connected to the external peripherals store output. PC2, PC4 pins are used as external strobes. INTE, that is interrupt enable, is internal connection. STB is an external connection. When it is used in the output mode, the pins D6 and D2 are set or reset. INTE using BSR. Acknowledgement signal, that is ACK input, is connected to the external peripherals acknowledge output. PC2 and PC6 are connected to the external acknowledge. So this acknowledge signal is connected to the PC2, PC6 of 8255, acknowledge from the peripheral device. Remember that ACK signal is not present in 8255, it is present in the peripheral device. Similarly, the case is with INTE also. Now you can just go through this table. What are the values of PC bits in the input and output modes? So PC bits represent the bits from D0 to D7, that is now these data pins are used as control pins. Just go through all these things, you have to remember these values. Now let us see the mode 2. It is meant for only PA, that is port A. D7 bit is used as OBF, output buffer. D6 is for interrupt 1 output and acknowledgement. D7 is IPF input buffer. D4 is for interrupt 2 input and strobe will be B. D3 is for interrupt, that is unconditional interrupt. Then D2, D1, D0 are not used. Now let us see the control signal. Strobe input STP and input buffer full IBF. STP is an active low signal for 8255 and output signal for the input device. That means when we connect the input device to 8255, SDP is used. The input device activates STP to indicate CPU that the data to be read is already sent to the port. Then 8255 loads the data from the input port to the input buffer of that port. IPF is input buffer full signal. It is an active high output signal for 8255 and input signal for the input device. It is generated by 8255 in response to STP signal as an acknowledgement to the input device. It indicates to the input device. Now let us see the control signals STP and IPF. STP is strobe input. It is an active low input signal for 8255 and output signal for the input device. That means when we connect the input device to 8255, STP acts as output signal for the device and input signal for the 8255. The input device activates STP to indicate CPU that the data to be read is already sent on the port. That means after sending the data on the port, the STP is activated. So once it is activated, 8255 loads the data from the input port to the input buffer of that port. IPF is input buffer full signal. It is an active high output signal for 8255 and input signal for the input device. It is generated by 8255 in response to STP signal as an acknowledgement to the input device. It indicates to the input device that the input buffer is full and it is not ready to accept next byte. The IPF signal is deactivated when the CPU reads the data from the input buffer of the respective port by activation on read signal. Next control signal is INTE, that is interrupt enable. It's a flip-flop used to enable or disable the interrupt request signal INTR. If INTE is set, the interrupt request is generated depending on the status of STP and IFP signals. If it is reset, then the interrupt request is not generated. That is, the interrupt is masked or not allowed. Next control signals are OBF and INTR, output buffer full. It is an active low output signal for 8255 and input signal for the output device. Now when the 8255 is connected to the output device, OBF is used. 8255 activates OBF so that it can indicate the output is available on the output port. Then the output device reads the data from the output port and acknowledges it by ACK signal, that is acknowledgement signal. OBF is activated by WR, that is write signal, and deactivated by acknowledge signal. The INTR signal is interrupt request. It is an active high output signal generated by 8255. When it is equal to 1, CPU is interrupted. Otherwise, it is not interrupted. 8255 sets INTR when acknowledgement signal, OBF signal and INT are all equal to 1, indicating that the output device is ready to accept the next data byte. It is reset by WR, that is write signal. Then let us see the different timing diagrams for different modes. So as we can see in this case, this is the timing diagram for mode 0. When read signal becomes low, the read instruction gets executed. D0 to D7 becomes the data, and CS bar and A1 A0, they will select the port for which it is to be connected. The input signals are worked as it is. This is the timing diagram for mode 0 output mode. So when it is output mode, when you can see the differences with the data and this. Let us see the control logic of 8255. This block accepts the control bus signals and inputs from the address bus. It issues the commands to the individual group control task, that is blocks A and B. It issues appropriate enabling signals to access the required data or control words or status words. The input pins for the control logic sections are in the remaining slides. We can see how the ports work in mode 1, different modes, input and output devices. Just look at these diagrams. The control word is stored in the data pins, that is D0 to D7. Out of them, D0, D1, D2 are not used. For the different ports and different modes, check for the control word, C ports, to what signals they are connected and how the interrupt is enabled. Just go through the remaining signals to check the block diagrams. This is for port B in mode 1. We use the data pins only D1, D2 and D7. See the input output signals as well. This is port A in output mode 1. As I can see, D0, D1, D2 are never used. When we consider 8255, the right bar is enabled. Look at the input output devices signals. Now we have OBF and ACA, that is acknowledge signal. In the previous case we had IDF and set B, strobe signals. This is for port B in mode 1 output mode. Again we use T1, D2, D7 bits. So it's an output mode. Look at the PC bits which are connected to the output device. Now let us see group A, B controls. Each of the control blocks receives control words from the CPU, as that we have already seen. So they issue appropriate commands to the ports associated with it. In group A control block, which controls PA and PC4 to PC7, that is upper port C, and in group B it controls PB, that is port B, and lower port C, that is PC0 to PC3. Now let us see what is meant by data bus buffer. It is a tri-state bidirectional buffer. Bidirectional indicates that you can read or write into the same buffer. It is used to interface the internal data of 8255 to the system data bus. Input and output instructions executed by the CPU either in read data or from or write data into the buffer. The output data from the CPU to the ports or control register and input data to the CPU from the ports or the status register are all passed through the same buffer. Now let us see an example of connecting a printer to the microcontroller using 8255. So printer can be connected to the microprocessor or the microcontroller using 8255. The microprocessor is made to work in a maximum mode by connecting MN/MX pin to high signal. Now input signals for the printer are init and STB. Output signals are acknowledgement, busy, PE, SLCT and error. We shall see them in detail. Acknowledgement signal, as we have already discussed, it is used by the output device to acknowledge that the data has been received and it can accept a new character. The busy signal will be high if the printer is not ready to accept a new character. Select signal is when the printer is turned on, it becomes enable. Error signal will be low when there are conditions such as paper jam, out of paper, offline, that is you cannot use the printer. Strobe signals is high when the PC presents a character. Initialize is clear, printer buffer and reset control. This is the block diagram of connecting the printer to the microprocessor using PPI, that is 8255. You can see that MN/MX bar is connected to VCC, that means your microprocessor is in maximum mode. Now address latch label is connected to PPI. Addresses are given here. AD signals, that is data lines, are connected. IO and memory are again connected to PPI, indicating that whether the data is from the memory is to be printed or from the input type devices are printed. Similarly, read, write, DEN and DT are also connected to PPI. And from PPI, the data, the lines, that is D0 to D7, are connected to the printer. Strobe is connected to the printer and the output from printer, that is busy signal, is also connected to the printer. Just go through this diagram again and try to understand it.